Pitmasters, what is up? Today we're gonna make a delicious chuck roast umami burger. This is a kilogram of chuck roast. We're going to dice it up and put it into our meat grinder. Look at the marbling. That's gonna taste especially good for our burger. Look at that, a beautiful cut. We gotta look closely at this meat because there's some hard fat in here that we really want to use, but there's also some connective tissue in here that we don't want to use. So with our fingers, we're just gonna follow that connective tissue, that silver skin, and just shred it up. We can just rip it off. You don't actually need to use a knife for that. And this is the connective tissue that I don't want to have, that silver skin. That's not gonna work well with our meat grinder. Now the rest we will dice up into cubes to fit into our meat grinder. The reason that we selected the chuck roast is because of the amount of fat that's in there. Now you can see already in this mix that it's around 20 to 30% of fat. And that will be perfect for our burger. It will render down and make our burger turn juicy. Let's grind this down. I'm taking a sheet of baking paper and that's what we're going to make our burger patty on. We're going to take out our minced meat, put it on the sheet of baking paper. Now you can see this is a really coarse structure in our minced meat, and that's exactly what I want for this burger. I want a thick, crunchy, rustic burger. And size wise, I'm looking at my burger buns just to make sure that we got a good size confirmation to go with that bun. We'll put this in the freezer for around 5 to 10 minutes just to get them firmed up before they hit the grill. While our burger patties are firming up, it's time to start up our barbecue. And of course we're going to use big block to get a good amount of heat under our griddle plate. Light up the fire starters and put the charcoal on. While our charcoal is starting up, we are going to work on our mayonnaise. So I'm using some yogurt based mayonnaise. And to that we're going to add 3 to 4 tablespoons of Boombastic barbecue rub. Whisk that up. And of course, we need to try it. That is a good, tasty mayonnaise. Set this aside until our burgers are done. Now we can start already with slicing up our tomatoes. Hey, my knife is dull, and this is something that, especially with tomatoes, you can see it. It's not as sharp as I would like it to be. Look, if I grip it like this and my knife doesn't straight away go through it, I have to apply pressure, and you don't want to apply pressure with tomatoes. So what we're going to do is sharpen this up real quick. For that I'm going to use this box that I made with my whetstones. Basically it's a bucket in which I put water. I can put my whetstones in, put this little plank on top, and then when my whetstones are wet, I can set them in between and sharpen my knives. So let's do that right now. Put in the stones. And these stones need to be in for around 5 to 10 minutes just to have them soak up that water. Now you can see that they're ready when the bubbles disappear. Now what I want to do is, I don't have to go all the way back and set a new edge on this knife. I just need to re-sharpen it. It won't help if I use my honing steel. It's just too far gone. And there we go. Both sides. And the only thing that I expected to do is take off these little burrs that are on there, make it really sharp again. Put on a little bit of water. I'm also going to sharpen this knife. The other day I cut into a barbecue tongue with it, and that's not good for a knife. It's extremely dull right now. So I'm going to take the other stone, the 800, and I'm just going to make sure that that edge is there to start with. Don't apply any pressure. Just let the knife and the stone connect and do its work. It's getting nice and sharp, and one of the ways for me to check if all the chips in the blade are gone is just to run it along the edge of my nail. Be careful there. And I don't feel any chips, so that's good. Now we can go to level 2000. Just finish it off with like 8 to 10 strokes on each side. Now the way that I like to test and see if my knife is sharp is just take a little bit of paper and cut right through it. There we go. It might not shave my arm, but it's definitely sharp enough to cut a tomato. Look at that. That's way better. The only thing I have to do is just pull on the knife and it slices right through. Gorgeous. Nice thin slices. Perfect. Now what we're going to do with these tomatoes is we're going to grill them. We're going to expose that umami flavor that's packed inside of that tomato. We're going to cut them into thick slices. We need a little bit of body so they won't fall apart on us. We'll do the same with our onions. Our charcoal is all fired up, ready to put in the grill. We'll put on the grill grate, then the griddle. Let the griddle come up to temperature and then start grilling those burgers. Woo-wee. One of my favorite things to do when grilling a burger is use a little bit of pork fat. And they come in these plastic rolls. Just pinch them and you can use them to season your griddle. So to check if your griddle is ready to start grilling, just put on a little bit of onion. Here we can clearly see it's not ready yet, so we gotta wait a little more. Our griddle is hot now, so let's get on these tomatoes. Look at that, that's what we're looking for, that sizzle. And what we want to have with these tomatoes is we want to blacken them, we want to burn them. Because if you have never had burnt tomatoes before, give it a try. It is absolutely fantastic. It may sound crazy, but it's true. We're also going to put on our onion rings. Now we'll slice up these mushrooms. Put them on the grill as well. You can see that the vegetables are soaking up some of that pork fat. So we'll add a little bit more. Put on a little bit of salt on our onions and on our mushrooms. Flip them over. Just going to take these onion rings off one by one. And you can already smell the sweetness that they received from caramelizing. Now let's get the tomatoes off. We've got a nice bit of char on them. And that's just going to give us that sweet umami flavor. We'll put on some more pork fat. There we go, grease it up. Put on our buns, and these are brioche buns. In Dutch they're called beschuitbollen. Just want to toast them a little bit, not too much. Time to put our burgers on. Look at these beauties, nice and thick. We're going to treat these burgers as steaks, just to get the maximum effect. Oh, these are. I'm using these little things to help cook the steaks. This steak is definitely done. There we go. So let's assemble our burger. We'll take one of these beautiful crispy brioches, put on a little bit of lettuce to protect the buns from getting soggy. On the bottom of that we're going to put our beautiful mayonnaise that we created, our bombastic mayonnaise. Drizzle that on there. Now our burger goes on. Look at that big boy. A real good steak burger, and look at that, it almost falls apart. So quickly we're going to add on our umami flavors. First the tomatoes, then with the mushrooms, our onions. We might have well called this the impossible burger, because this is going to be hard to eat in one bite. This is an absolutely massive burger. Do you think I can get it in my mouth all at once? This is almost stupid. Here we go. Absolutely fantastic. The umami flavors together with the pork fat and that little bit of salt and the mayonnaise, it's such a great combination. Absolutely fantastic. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope you guys liked the recipe. If you did, give me a big thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. I want to say a big thank you to all of my sponsors, and if you're not a sponsor yet but you want to sponsor the channel, hit that sponsor button or go over to Patreon. The link is down below in the video description. See you guys next time. Until then, eet smakelijk and keep on grilling.